What's going on? This is the Broke Genius, and welcome to the life of a broke genius. Welcome to my channel.
What's going on tonight? I just got another just thought off of my daily travels, and this one is called "It Is What It Is Till It Isn't." Now, what I mean by this is a lot of times I find people, including myself, I'm guilty of this as well. You don't believe fat meat is greasy. And even if you know the fat meat is greasy, it's just basically just tough to deal with. Okay. What I mean by that is, you know that you got some bill that's due about a week from now. You about $500, $1,000 short of it, and you have to pay that bill. And a lot of times people just kind of run away from that reality, run away from responsibilities. Basically, the reality is, you overweight, need to, cut back, go to the gym, walk more, instead of driving close to parking lots, maybe drive way in the back of the parking lot because you need to lose the weight, right? You need to get your steps in, get a mat and do some push-ups and some sit-ups at home. You need to do that, but you're not addressing it. So a lot of times, people don't focus on the is. They just, kind of deal with the it, but the is more important, and is actually what you need to be focusing on. For example, my is I need to get this house fixed up. It's way overdue to my timeline that I imagine it would be fixed up or even habitable. I got to deal with that. Not only do I have to deal with that, I have to deal with, life and all of the caveats of life, and, high costs and everything, gas, going up, all of these things I have to deal with, including, the main thing, which is fixing this house up. So I can run from it. I can hide from it. That is an option, but it's not an option that I'm going to choose. I never hardly choose options where, first of all, I most of the time don't get involved in something that I don't have an out to. And, nobody's going to fix their house up until, I come up with the money or I do it myself. And that is the is. And I have to deal with that. It sucks. It sucks to deal with it. But that's the reality that basically I have to deal with. Okay. Now, another thing is I have to play this video that you need to see, because this ain't just me, saying this. Okay. You need to focus on wealth. You need to, get out of debt so you can create some type of wealth for not only yourself, for your grandchildren, your children, and generations to come. This is a rally cry, okay? This is not, something that you giggle off. This is not something that you put your poker face on. This is serious business. This is the is to my channel. This is the ultimate is. You need to focus on getting out of debt, gaining wealth. Okay. Now, I'm not, I don't really have a lot of dog in the fight as far as I don't have a lot of money. Okay. I am pretty candid about my financial inadequacies, but I'm gonna play a video of somebody that is not so financially inadequate, and maybe it'll resonate with you. I'm gonna play this video, and here it goes.
Out of this shit. They burnt kids. They did this. We can't even breathe. We got 0% of the wealth. I want to tap into. Do any of y'all want to fight? The fuck? This is the fight. All that other shit. Nah, we can get all that other shit. We get some motherfucking money and get some independence and start getting the resources so we can police our own communities. We can hire our own. Everything starts from money. We want to cure diabetes, you need money. You want to affect the wealth gap, you need money. You want to do education, you need anything. You need money. That's it. Everybody leave. If you don't have no money, you're just going to sit here and be a broke nigga with no money talking about the same shit they was talking about 100 years ago. And I'm not doing that.
Message.
So yeah, that was P. Diddy. Pretty much, man. That's pretty much, man, kind of where I've been just focusing on, day in and day out, man. Shit ain't no joke, man. I joke around a lot of times. I have a sense of humor. A lot of times the sense of humor is really to just kind of deal with the reality, to just not make things as difficult as it is, like just to kind of like make it to where I ain't just waking up pissed off every day, because it is to a certain extent kind of. I'm not saying the daily struggles is hilarious. It's just like I'm having a good time. It's fun. Oh, it's fun being in America where, pretty much it, not that much wealth with, black people don't have that much as far as on the bottom of society financially and all of this stuff. And it's not fun, but the thing about it is, I'm not a complete cynic. I don't wake up pissed off. I don't go to sleep pissed off. But this is serious business. Okay. It is freaking serious matter. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people run from. A lot of people, you talking about this and that and all these other problems, man. Well, you're running away from the major problem, and the major problem that you're running from is the lack of money. That's what you're running from. When it's time to talk about the money, this is what you get. You don't got nothing to respond to, money. You capping on the internet. You know what I'm saying? You are. Everybody act as if they got money just on YouTube. I'll just say YouTube. Everybody act like they got money, man. I rarely, every now and again I hear some people, man, that's like, hey, yeah, I'm broke, man. Yeah, you got me, man. Well, what do I do from here? Well, a lot of you cats, man, act like, as if that you can run around in circles from other issues and not address the lack of wealth. Okay, the lack of because the thing about it is what that video, what he was saying, if you ain't got no money, everything else is gonna be a problem. Grandma's, heart transplant, your, kids' college fund, your freaking problems, man, with your relationships, all this stuff, man. It's like a freaking diagram that's like a bottomless pit. You haven't dealt with the bottomless pit, which is all your money going out the window every month, every week, every day. And you expect to deal with everything outside of the bottomless pit that's sucking your entire, life away. You feel as though you can run from it. You can find an escape with it. You can smoke a blunt, it goes away. You could drink a bottle of, Hennessy and it goes away. It's not gonna go away. You wake up tomorrow, you got phone calls, people calling you, hey, I owe you, you owe me money. Some of you people, man, I'll be honest with you, man. I never really can understand, how people can actually owe people money, like actually people. Like I can get companies, but a lot of people owe actual people cash money. I mean, I ain't talking about some you owe somebody from, I mean, like for example, my sensei, I pretty much just never really quit. Like it was like a contract that I never really paid him the full balance of. But the thing about it is, I gave him what I had. But the thing is like I ain't borrow any money from him. I didn't borrow from any money from anybody that I didn't pay back. As far as a person, some people, man, they borrow money from people. They start jobs and projects for people, and then they don't even pay them back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then you address the person, and you don't even address the person. You just run away from this person for the rest of your life, man. Like Jamie Foxx, he used to give people money just so he can get rid of them, because if he gave a guy that he grew up with, somebody he known for a long time, $5,000. Most of the time, they ain't gonna even pay him back. So that'd be the last time he'd see this person. So it'd be his way of kind of getting rid of people, because they'll get rid of themselves, And it's like, yeah, man, some of you guys, man, you trying to deal with all these other problems. You coming on YouTube, you complaining about relationships, you complaining about the black community. Everything that you complaining about, I want to challenge you to basically think about it like this. If you had wealth and your friends had wealth, your peers had wealth, the people in your community that you speak of had wealth, how would you be able to address certain things? How would you be able to move if you had money? How would people think about people if they had money? If a lot of people had money? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't have any backbone breaking debt where you had to go, wake up in the morning because you got all this debt, how would you move? It's like literally like freaking a freaking May song. Like if you had 24 hours to live, like it kind of goes into that. It kind of makes me think a vibe into that. Like if you literally had no debt, how would you move? What would you wake up and do if you had no debt? You had $10,000, $100,000 in the bank. How would you move? And just think about how would you move and what would you do, and think about a whole bunch of other people, with that same amount of money, and then you understand wealth. You understand the power of wealth, and it's like basically the thing is that you guys, man, you don't want to address that problem. You're running from that problem, and every now and again I back up off this topic. I back up off this topic. I just, I give you people a break, and then I back up off of it. But then I come back to it, and it ain't gone away, and I'm listening, and I'm hearing the dialogue. But I'm gonna tell you, the problem is you have not addressed the problem. Problem is still there. You don't have the money to move the way you want to move. That's why you're having all these other issues. And that is why I pretty much looked at this Maslow's chart. And, basically, I got to change this around because I got to talk about debt and how this is affecting. I have to change. This is pretty much the income. But I gotta change this around because a lot of times it's not so much about how much you make, it's how much you keep. Okay. At the end of the day, I don't focus on the fact that I'm not necessarily a millionaire yet. I don't really focus too much on that because see, the thing about it is a lot of times people, they've been to a certain threshold in life where they had like 100 grand, they had 50 grand, 75 grand, but they blew it. See, if I got money at my intelligence level now, my financial understanding now, I know what to do with it. So if I got $1 million now, I know how to make it more money and more money until, I pretty much, I'll be, running off to the races. Where a lot of times, people get money, they get millions of dollars and then they blow it. But we're gonna take this Maslow's chart again, and I'm gonna break down debt and how, basically it doesn't even matter. It's people that make $100,000, but they got $200,000 in debt. We're gonna change. I'm gonna change that up and remix it a little bit because I'm back on this. I'm never gonna give up on this. I don't even care if I'm a millionaire. Like, Diddy he's almost getting ready to be, cross the $1 billion plateau. He probably cross it this year, if not within the next year or two. I say it at the very least, probably within the next 5 years, he'll be a billionaire. And I'll be honest, even if I make a whole bunch of money, if I become a millionaire or if I'm still struggling, I'm still going to talk about this because it's an issue that needs to be talked about. Nobody wants to talk about it because when you address this issue, you have to address other issues involved. You have to deal with, all kind of other issues related to lack of wealth. And a lot of times you guys don't want to deal with it. Because you actually have to deal with the is. A lot of times you running away from is, you running away from, all of these responsibilities. I mean, ideally, that's what a bum is. That's what a bum is. That's what a person that lives on an underpass, they pretty much, they're running away from their problems. A lot of times, yes, they have, mental health problems and substance abuse problems. But ideally, at the very heart of it, they're running away from their problems. They literally they're devoid of money, and they are just basically living on the streets, living off of the, kindness of strangers in the fat of the land, so to speak. Even in India, I've heard of people that they actually take a vow of poverty because they basically get rid of all of their possessions. There's a billionaire, I believe, last year, I remember reading an article I posted on my Facebook page, Broke Geniuses, and he gave all of his money away. He got to a billionaire status, and he was proud enough to basically give all of his money away because he, pretty much was getting older. He gave all of his money away. I mean, it's people that's into that. But see, here's the thing: like, he can give his money away, but his people ain't struggling. His people don't have a wealth problem like black people have. So, I mean, he can do that, and he's still fine. But Black people, they giving, all of their money away and they're broke. They're poor. It's a difference. So yeah, it's a problem. I mean, I might be talking about it right now. I'm not gonna stop talking about it. I don't care if I don't get no views. I don't care if I get 1 million views. Still gonna talk about it because this thing is it's a serious issue. It's issue number one. It's always been issue number one. And it is what it is. And pretty much I really it's kind of, it's really a situation where unfortunately there's going to have to be a separation. There's going to be pretty much people that want to deal with this issue, and the people that don't want to deal with this issue, they have to go to a special place, and that special place is called Brokistan. And they got to stay there permanently because they don't want to deal with their issues. They want to talk about all these other things. They want to try to even deal with all these other things, and they haven't dealt with the wealth issue. They haven't dealt with the dealing with the debt issue. Actually, is the first part of dealing with the wealth issue. It's not so much communal. It's like pretty much each one teach one, and you yourself deal with your issues. Because here's the thing, a wise man said, how do I teach, poor people? He said, well, the best thing you could do is you yourself not be poor. At least they can have another example of someone that is not poor, so they can see to try to, overcome their issues, because this person they knew was poor. They could try to get, rich by following somebody that's an example. You be the first person to be the example. That's the whole thing with that. But yeah, it's just something that was on my mind. Definitely was a situation where, pretty much I just was like, just kind of had a kind of like a reminder that as much as I, want to just enjoy my weekends and just, relax and enjoy life and everything, I can't do that. I can't afford to just sit back and, enjoy nothingness, because I have a lot of responsibilities, that I have to meet. I have to, make sure that, I got this house fixed up. I got bills. If I don't do it, nobody else will. And that is the is of what I have to deal with. And it sucks. It hurts. Because I just be like, man, I mean, damn, I wish I wish I was more consistent, but it's like a lot of times I look at things, it's like I'm doing well, but in certain aspects I'm so far behind that it's like I have to play catch up a lot of times, but at the same time, it's like, it's a lot of things that I've already done that I've been really kicking butt with. And I did quite a bit last year. Last year, I was giving uppercuts. I was literally giving uppercuts because I was literally trying to capitalize on a lot of opportunities. So I did okay, but this year it's no let up. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, but I have to fight back and try to get these things done that I was trying to accomplish last year. And it's people that ain't here no more that, I would talk to, and, even would help me out, is no longer here. So it's like, my ranks is diminished, but, I'm the only one that can do it, unfortunately. It sucks, but you got to do it. You got to keep marching on, and keep, hopefully once you keep moving and shaking and putting in the action, after a while, you'll start to see stuff get done. You can sit down and enjoy the fact that you've actually accomplished something. You can sit back and see your work, and and once you do that, and you have you a little cocktail, a little drink, and have you a nice little cigar, and then you like, yeah, I mean, I got through this. It was rough, and I did it, and it's like that's the vision. That's the silent that's the meditation in motion that you gotta look at.
Message.